So you guys, I'm the science of attraction girl. I'm the girl that breaks down the science of attraction, how we are biochemically wired, how men are biochemically wired to be attracted to you. What is it that you as a woman can do to trigger his vasopressin, which is his bonding hormone, that triggers him to fall for you, to want to do for you, to pour into you, to want to marry you? And what are the things that you do that sabotages that? Because when you understand the science, then you step into true power. You have an advantage. You know the rules of the game, and you can use it to your advantage. So with that information, I have been able to help over 180,000 women to up-level their love lives. I've helped women to be able to get married, women to heal long-term childhood traumas that therapy, journal work, shadow work, all of that stuff has not been able to heal, and have helped even more women to go on to have the life and love of their dreams. And I'm getting ready to tell you how I got started and how exactly I'm able to do this for my clients at Boss Diva University. First, I was never intending on doing this, okay? I was supposed to be a doctor. I was supposed to be a pediatric cardiologist, and after I decided that doing medicine wasn't for me, I found myself homeless on food stamps with a child whose father walked out on us. And when I went 3 days without eating, I sat on the couch crying with my daughter, wondering, where did I go wrong? Like, how did I get myself in this situation when I graduated with honors from Florida State University? How did I find myself where I kept choosing abusive, toxic, narcissistic men over and over and over again, to the point where I lost everything? And so while I was sitting there with my daughter, hungry, waiting for the food stamps to come in, I made a promise to her that mommy was going to figure this out, that I was going to give her a big backyard, and I was going to show her what true love, what healthy love looks like. Now, being a science girl, I graduated pre-med biology with a double major in chemistry, and I believed that if you could figure out the formula to anything, then you can be able to figure out the cheat code for your advantage to getting whatever it is that you wanted. In this case, I wanted to be able to attract a healthy relationship. So I did a dating experiment where I went on 100 dates. In a little over 3 months, I interviewed over 4,000 men, women, and couples. I read hundreds of books on the science of attraction, the anthropology of attraction, love, dating, and relationship books, so that I can be able to master this, so I can be able to understand, like, what is it that I was doing wrong? What is it that I could start to change so that I could be able to attract love? And y'all, for real, y'all are gonna wanna listen to this. For real, pay attention. I went from getting played all the time to where men took me for granted. Men weren't willing to work for me. Men didn't appreciate me. Men were cheating on me. Men were lying to me. Men were abusing me, to getting paid. That means I had men so into me that a man bought me a house. Like, first of all, when men have money, like, it's not a big deal for them to buy you a $250,000 investment property. And this was like about 15 years ago. I said I wanted to get into real estate investment. This man was very successful, very wealthy. He just bought me an investment property. Another man bought me a car, like outright paid for it, gave me the title. I got tickets to the Masters, the Open, Super Bowl. I was getting shopping sprees all the time. I was getting anything I wanted without having to ask for it, because asking, ladies, is tacky. Your feminine energy should do the asking. Your presence should do the asking. Their motivation, you trigger in that vasopressin, and their motivation to earn you, to be able to be in your world, should be the asking. And so when I was able to master this, I was documenting the process on my YouTube channel back in like 2004, 2005, and I kept being able to get men to fall for me in less than 30 days. So my audience started to nickname me the Date Diva, Shay the Date Diva, because I kept going out on these dates and men kept falling for me. And I wasn't planning on, again, being this expert. I wasn't planning on being a guru at all. I wasn't planning on doing what it is that I do now. But I had women who wanted the same results that I was getting. I had women who were in abusive relationships. A woman emailed me who had to sleep on the floor. I've told this story several times. Her boyfriend was a pedophile, and she would sleep on the floor in front of the door because she wanted to know if he ever got up in the middle of the night, because she was afraid of him touching her daughter, which he had, but she was doing what she thought she could to protect her child. And when I got that email, and when I got the message from the women who were in abusive relationships who couldn't walk away, and women who love men extremely, but the men didn't love them back, I decided that I was going to start answering these emails, and the rest is history. That's how I got here. That's how I started helping women. So what are you doing? What are the top 3 things that you, as a boss woman, as a successful woman? Now, here's the thing, ladies, that you got to understand. And this was one of the biggest mistakes that I made when I was dating. You have to be in a financially stable position before you start dating. Because when you date in lack, then you attract an energetic match to that. I dated in lack. I attracted a man who was already married, lied about being married, married me while having a wife in a whole nother state. And y'all, it was a freaking nightmare. And this man was like, oh, you don't have to work. I got you. I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to do all these things for you. And then I ended up finding myself trapped in this 10,000 square foot house where he paid all the bills, but I barely got anything, where he was controlling me, where he was abusing me, where he was mistreating me and my kids. So you always want to make sure you're in a financially strong position before you start dating, because it changes your point of attraction powerfully. The second thing that you want to do is you want to make sure that you heal your love blocks. A love block is any thought, behavior, or belief that is blocking you from the love that you want. It is your thoughts. It is your story. It is your trauma. It is whatever you think you are or not enough of that causes you to attract the man who can't see you, who can't value you, and who can't love you right. So when you heal those love blocks, then again, you change your point of attraction to attracting a quality man. And then the last thing, the worst thing for you to do is to date without understanding the rules. It's kind of like trying to play a sport, trying to play basketball, and you don't know how to play the game. You don't know the rules of the game. Or you think that it's okay for you to walk the ball over to the hoop and throw it in, and then you end up getting thrown out the game and you don't know why. All you know is that you got the ball through the hoop. So you was being yourself. Okay, you were doing your best. It should have worked. But no, you have to understand the rules of the game. It's called a dating game for a reason. And when you understand the rules of the dating game, which is the science of attraction, ladies, then you become immensely powerful. So once I was able to understand and once I was able to master these 3 things, then it changed everything. So what is it that is important for you to know when you're dating that causes you to keep attracting heartbreak and pain? How many of you guys within the last 3 months has had a guy who seemed like he was into you, who seemed like he was a good guy, end up disappointing you, lying to you, ghosting you, or walking away? Say I. How many of you has that happened to within the last 3 months? Say I. How many of you has had a guy who seemed like he was into you, who lied, who cheated, who ghosted, who walked away, who disappointed within the last 3 months? How many of you guys have had somebody do that to you? You thought he was a good guy. He seemed like he had it all together. It seemed like you were making the right choice and choosing him. And then here you are. This is a mistake that I see so many women make. And this is also a mistake that we see a lot of celebrities make. Ladies, when you leave a relationship that did not work, you have to understand that energetically you're vibrating to the frequency of what caused that relationship to not work. Whatever the reasons was, even though if he was abusive or jerk, it's all him, still there was a point of attraction that magnetically attracted, that drew him to you. So you're vibrating to attracting the same man with a different face. So the worst thing for you to do is to jump from one relationship to the next, and you haven't healed that energetic point of attraction, which is called a love block. How many of you guys, you were hurt by like your first real love, and this was like more than 10 years ago, and you still have not either been in a relationship or been in a significant relationship where you were really in love with the person? Say I. It's been over 10 years and you haven't really allowed yourself to love that deeply in 10 years. How many of you have that happen to? So another thing that I see women do, especially women who are the make it happen type A boss ladies. See, for a woman like you who is used to winning, like when you work hard, you achieve results. When you do what you're supposed to do, then you achieve results. And you trust yourself to be able to win in every other aspect of your life when you put your mind to it. But when it comes to love, when you've trusted somebody, when you've given your heart to somebody and they betray you, when they hurt you, when they disappoint you, or when they walk away from you, and that great disappointment for you as that type of woman is huge, because now the worst thing is you can't trust yourself and you can't stand to fail. You can't stand to be wrong. You can't stand for you to believe that you really trusted this person and they let you down. So to you, you subconsciously make an agreement with yourself. I will never allow this to happen again. I won't allow another person to hurt me like this again. I won't allow myself to be completely vulnerable or let go ever again. So you oftentimes will either A, choose men who are beneath you, who are not at your level, men who, yeah, you might care about, but if it doesn't work, you're like, yeah, yeah, I mean, I didn't really try anyway. Or you will stay chronically by yourself. You will go from one situationship to another, or you won't date at all, or you will just never really allow yourself to be vulnerable with somebody again. And ladies, listen to me. I have been running my Love Mastery agency now for 20 years. And I'm telling you, I've seen so many women that have come through my doors, so many women that have come to me to help them. And this is the saddest thing. I get a woman like you who is highly successful, who has been doing life at the highest level, who's been making it happen, who has been avoiding love because you have better things to do, because you keep lying to yourself saying, well, I'm not really looking, when really the truth is you've been really avoiding the possibility of allowing somebody to hurt you. They come through my doors around 45 to 50, and they had a moment. Either a parent has died, or they went to that wedding that like did something to them that was like, oh my God, I'm missing out. Or something significant happens in their life where they're like, damn, I wish I had somebody by my side. I wish I didn't have to carry this all on my own. And they're tired. They're tired of having to do it all. Like having to be that friend that is always there for everybody else, but nobody's really there for you, that you can't really talk to the way your friends come to you for resources and to talk to you. And you just want somebody to have your back. And then you're like, oh shit, I want to have kids. And you're like 45, like around 45-ish to about 50. And then you're coming to me and you're like, I want to have kids. I want this to happen. And you're like in this state of panic because you are afraid that you are running out of time. And now you're dealing in an energy of being desperate. You're dealing in an energy of feeling resentment for whatever ex that broke your heart, that caused you to lose time. You're in this energy where now you're going to attract one of two men. You're going to either attract the narcissist or the man baby. You're going to attract that man who sees all your confidence, sees all your accomplishments, sees all of your greatness, and he wants to subdue it because it amplifies his own weaknesses and insecurities. Because he is a feminized man, he's highly in his feminine energy. In order for him to have his ego fulfilled, he needs you to feel small. And in order for you to feel small, He needs to be able to control you so you don't walk away, so that you don't see that he really is insignificant and doesn't deserve you in the first place. So out walks the narcissist. And here's the thing that a narcissist would trigger in a woman like you. Because for a woman who is successful, who is smart, who is make it happen, she does not like to be wrong. You cannot make an accusation towards her and then she not try to defend herself when she is in her wounded feminine. So when he says, you are cheating, or you don't really care about me, or you're a gold digger, whatever it is, then she's going to argue with him, fight with him, prove to him that she isn't whatever he's saying that she is. And while she's spending all that energy and all that time on herself, looking at herself, trying to figure out what's wrong with me, how I need to get better, how I need to prove to him I'm not all the things that he's saying that I am, he's doing whatever foolishness that he wants to do, because now the attention isn't on him, it's on you. And that's how they manipulate you and slowly strip away at your self-esteem, at your self-worth, at who you know yourself to be. So that's the first guy that you tend to attract. And then the second guy is the man baby. The man baby is the man who is AKA the Build-A-Bear. He is the man who is highly in his dysfunctional feminine energy. And ladies, understand feminine energy isn't a bad thing. Actually, it's a great thing, especially for you. If you are a heterosexual woman who prefers to be with a man, then the balance is 70% feminine, 30% masculine. Everything in the universe vibrates to an energy and a frequency. And if you throw that energy or frequency out of balance, then you will throw yourself out of balance. So when you are that type of make it happen, successful, career-oriented woman, and you're operating in your masculine energy, then you tend to attract these feminized boys, is what I call them, who are highly in their feminine energy. These are the men that want you to pour into them, to do for them, to prove yourself to them, to pay for the date. They want to be pretty too, okay? They are the prize in their mind. They don't realize that it is an honor to be the champion who wins the prize. Like all Olympian competitors, they were proud to be an Olympian. They were all going for the prize. But here you have these men who call themselves an alpha, who call themselves a man's man, who also wants to be the woman too, who also wants to be the prize too. You gotta pick one. Which one are you gonna be? Are you going to be the champion, the victor, or are you going to be the prize? You ladies are the prize. You are the one that he's supposed to be working to earning. However, when you're in your masculine energy, when you're dealing with these love blocks, then you tend to attract these feminized boys who want to drain you. They want you to pour into them. They want you to earn them. They want you to prove what you are bringing to the table. They call you things like big money. They make comments, underhanded comments that seem innocent enough, but it is to start to slowly cause you to question yourself, feel insecure about your accomplishments, feel insecure about your strengths. They tell you things that you need to be the type of woman that submits. They start to make comments about how they want you to change your look, how they want you to change your behavior. These are the type of men that will try to sleep with you quickly. That's a whole nother topic. So then you, as this power woman, this make it happen successful woman, now you have been attracting these narcissists and these man babies, and you're wasting time. So then now, because you're desperate, you want to start your life, you want to have kids, you end up with this man, and then you end up in a bad situation. Now your kids have to grow up in this toxic environment if you do end up marrying one of these jerks. And then now here you are in a regretful situation. Because I see this so many times, I want to warn you ladies. You can't afford for this to happen. The clients that come through my door who are in this situation, they have lost hundreds of thousands of dollars. I've had clients come to me who have lost over $1 million being in this type of situation. I have had clients that have lost even more than money. They have lost time. Your time, ladies, is more valuable than money. Hence why You have to start valuing your time and the amount of time that you're giving these men. You have to start thinking strategically when you're dating. What do you want? What is it that you want long term? If you have an itch that you can't scratch and you just want that one night man, then ma'am, understand that that comes with its consequences. If that's what you like, then go ahead, knock yourself out. But I'm just telling you that whenever, as a woman, you always pay a price when you indiscriminately have sex with a man who hasn't earned you, who hasn't earned your time, who hasn't earned your mind, who hasn't earned your heart.